You've been made to believe life is hard because of fate, karma, or some flaw within you. But what if that story is upside down? What if you're not cursed, but chosen? Those who carry the most light are often called to walk the hardest roads, not as a punishment, but because the Creator knows your true strength. These trials are not to break you, but to refine your vessel to hold light. The heaviness you feel in life isn't by accident. You're not broken, unlucky, or cursed in some way. It's because you carry within you a spark powerful enough to shape reality itself. What if every setback, heartbreak, or failure was actually light cleverly disguised as darkness? What if pain isn't meant to punish you, but to prepare you for something greater? Just like gold must be melted to be purified, your spirit must be tested to reveal its hidden radiance. Most people don't realize that this friction is not a sign of failure, but an ancient cosmic law at work, a law you never fully understood until now. The brighter your light, the stronger the resistance. Why is it that the closer you come to transformation, the more the world, your doubts and fears arise? The answer might surprise you. We will explore exactly why darkness gathers just as you approach your next breakthrough, and why struggles are invitations, not roadblocks, to embody the force you were born to wield. We'll walk in the footsteps of mystics, sages, and spiritual rebels who cracked the code of reality, not by escaping hardship, but by alchemizing it, turning obstacles into stepping stones, pain into power, and darkness into light. In this video, we'll dive into why your hardest moments, paradoxically, might be the clearest sign that you're finally ready to hold more light than ever before. To truly understand why life can feel like a non-stop battle, we have to go deeper, beyond time and belief, into the ancient wisdom that held the secrets of light and darkness like sacred fire. From the dawn of civilization, every tradition pointed to a mystical paradox. The soul that burns brightest attracts the darkest night. The Egyptians spoke of the Ba, the eternal flame tested by the shadows of the Duat before it could rise to the stars. In forgotten Gnostic scrolls, it's written that those who awaken to their divine spark are met by archons, negative forces that challenge, obstruct, and tempt any soul on the verge of a breakthrough. Across India, the Upanishads tell of Tejas, the spiritual fire that must pass through trials before it becomes wisdom. In the ancient desert, the Essenes taught that the soul was both a lamp and a mirror, illuminating the path for others, but always tested first by resistance, doubt, and loss. Even in Kabbalistic teachings, this paradox runs deep, where struggle isn't seen as a curse, but a hidden tool of transformation. They speak of the opponent, not as some demon in the shadows, but as a force woven into the journey itself. Call it the adversary, the tester, or that quiet voice that whispers, "Why bother? You're not enough." It's not there to destroy you, but to challenge you, to awaken the power that only reveals itself through resistance. But why would the universe place such obstacles on your path? Because without friction, there is no fire. Without opposition, there is no growth. Without darkness, there is no light. The alchemists of the Renaissance knew this well. Visita interiora terrae rectificando invenius occultum lapidem. Visit the interior of the earth, and by rectifying, you will find the hidden stone. The journey through darkness is the only way the soul can unearth its buried light. Ever wonder why repeating affirmations doesn't always seem to work? That's because a lot of modern law of attraction advice skips over something crucial. You're told to stay positive and manifest abundance. And when life starts to fall apart, your ego takes over and you spiral into negativity again. But what if that breakdown is actually the breakthrough? What if the moment everything unravels is the exact moment life is preparing you for something greater? Your difficulties are the rites of passage that mark you as a bringer of light, a living bridge between what is and what could be. And so, from hidden temples to silent meditations, the wisdom has been passed down. The more light you carry, the more you're tested. The higher you climb, the stronger the winds become. But those winds are proof you're reaching the summit. This is the very knowledge they've been hiding from you. Let's look beneath the surface of your hardest days, your loneliest moments, and the battles you keep fighting long after others would have given up. Imagine your soul as a vessel, not just carrying ordinary light, but a living, radiant force. Most people drift through life with a flicker, enough to warm themselves, but not enough to change their world. You, whether you know it or not, are carrying a torch, and with every step you take, that light pushes against the inertia of the world, revealing what others are content to leave in the dark. But there's a paradox here. The more you let your light shine, the more you draw out hidden resistance, both within yourself and from the world around you. It's as if every time you choose growth, purpose, or a higher path, something pushes back. Ever notice how starting a new business, launching a creative project, or committing to a fresh chapter in life often comes with a wave of doubt, delays, or things suddenly going wrong? Sometimes it shows up as bad luck, an unexpected setback, or that old familiar voice whispering, "You'll never make it. You're just pretending. You don't deserve this." But that voice is not you. It is the opponent, an ancient principle embedded in the blueprint of creation, rising to meet you, not to defeat you, but to make sure you're truly ready for what you're calling in. It's why people often face their biggest storms right before their breakthrough, like a climber gasping for air just before reaching the peak. Resistance is always strongest at the threshold. It's not a sign you're failing, it's a sign you're getting close. Think about the patterns of your own life. How often have your most persistent challenges shown up when you dared to dream bigger, to change, to step into a new reality? Every time you reach for the next level, spiritually, creatively, or in love, old fears resurface. Relationships may feel strained, and unexpected obstacles can appear out of nowhere. But these aren't signs that you're off track. In fact, they're proof that something powerful is shifting. It's the universe making space, asking, are you truly ready to receive more light? These challenges aren't blocking your path. They are the path. And here's the secret. You always have a choice. The darkness is not there to break you, but to invite you into greater mastery. Will you meet resistance with panic and retreat? Or will you meet it with awareness, intention, and the quiet confidence that you are here to bend reality, not be bent by it? This is where modern reality wisdom meets ancient esoteric truth. When you stop seeing obstacles as punishment and start seeing them as signals of your rising power, the game drastically shifts in your favor. You're no longer trapped in the drama of the ego. You're navigating the landscape with the eyes of a creator. You become the cause, not the effect. And that's why the hardest times are never wasted. They're the evidence you're in the arena, doing the real work, breaking through your limits, not just for yourself, but for everyone who will follow in your footsteps. But the question remains, how do you recognize when you're truly at the edge of transformation? And how do you move through the storm without losing your way or your light? That's where we go next. Now let's step into the heart of the paradox. Why does it feel as though the more you reach for light, the heavier the shadows become? Why does the world seem to press hardest against those on the verge of a breakthrough? Doesn't seem fair, does it? In every true path of transformation, this moment appears, the guardian at the threshold, the ultimate test just before the new reality is born. The mystics called it wrestling with the angel. The sages called it passing through the fire. In modern language, it's that invisible wall of self-doubt, fatigue, or chaos that shows up exactly when you're closest to change. The reason is not random, and it's not cruel. It's a sacred law, a law which many misunderstand. Think of the artist just before the masterpiece emerges, the inventor at the edge of a discovery, or the seeker on the verge of awakening. The last mile is always the hardest, not because you're weak, but because you're being invited to prove to yourself and the universe that you are ready to hold more power, more joy, more freedom, and more light. This final resistance wears the mask of your oldest fears, your deepest doubts, and sometimes even the faces of those around you. It may appear as sudden setbacks, old addictions, or relationships that seem to test your resolve at the very worst moment. It's as if reality itself asks, are you willing to step through no matter what? If you can hold your vision steady, if you can let your heart stay open, even when your egoic mind is screaming, this is the moment when true alchemy happens. It wasn't just the ancients who left clues for this passage. Even modern-day books like Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zeland reveal how the mind creates pendulums, invisible forces born from collective thought and emotion that hook you back into old patterns and safe comfort zones. The moment you take a bold step into the wilderness, those pendulums swing hardest, testing your focus and trying to throw you off course. But here's the secret modern wisdom often forgets. The shadows only fight because you are about to step into the light. Every surge of resistance is a signal, almost a cosmic confirmation, that you're at the gates of transformation. The darkness doesn't show up for those who pose no threat to the status quo. It rises for the bringers of change. So if your reality feels as though it's pushing back, don't shrink or blame yourself. Stand firm. Observe the patterns without attachment. Embrace the voice of doubt as a cleverly disguised indicator you are ready to level up. Thank your resistance for revealing exactly where your next level is waiting to be claimed. Your greatest growth often comes not when things are easy, but when you keep moving forward despite the intensity of the test. You don't build muscle by avoiding the gym. When you master your response, not just to your external world, but your inner world, you step into the role of creator, not victim. Soon you begin to notice the very obstacles you once cursed become the training ground for your new self. The resistance, when faced with awareness and grace, becomes a launching pad. not a prison. Now you're ready for the real alchemy, turning pressure into power, pain into insight, and challenge into the radiant force that reshapes your destiny. But how do you actually do this? How do you put these principles into practice when the storm is raging and the breakthrough seems just out of reach? Let's make it real. Now it's time to bring this wisdom out of the clouds and into your daily life. Here's how to navigate the threshold when resistance is at its peak and breakthrough is close, so you don't just survive the storm, but rise above it. 1. See resistance as a signal. You are close to transformation. Whenever challenges, doubts, or temptations flare up at the edge of change, pause. Don't react. Recognize this isn't proof you're failing. It's the universe's way of showing you that you're on sacred ground. The closer you are to real growth, the louder the opponent becomes, testing your readiness to hold more light. 2. Become the silent witness. Imagine you're sitting above your life, calmly observing the waves of thought and emotion passing below. Instead of fighting resistance or getting swept up in drama, watch it without judgment. This simple act, separating your true self from your reactive egoic mind, transforms chaos into clarity and allows you to move forward with certainty. 3. Loosen your grip on outcome. As you pursue your desires, notice when you clinch, push too hard, or try to control how it will happen. The more importance and tension you place on a breakthrough, the more you empower resistance to push back. State your intentions clearly, but hold them with relaxed hands. Like a masterful archer, aim, then let go and trust the arrow's flight. 4. Redirect energy with intention, not force. If you feel blocked, don't battle with the problem. Instead, shift your focus to a place of ease or gratitude, something that feels light and effortless. This act is like changing tracks in a cosmic railway. Reality bends not for those who strain, but for those who act with calm certainty and inner alignment. 5. Treat resistance as your teacher. When inner or outer obstacles arise, ask, what quality is this moment asking me to develop? Is it patience, faith, humility, or courage? Thank your resistance for sharpening your spiritual muscles. Every time you meet a challenge with conscious choice instead of old reaction, you reclaim more power over your reality. 6th ritual for threshold moments. Each morning, sit quietly and identify where you feel the most friction in your life right now. Visualize that point of resistance as a gate, not a wall, a threshold that, once crossed, brings you into greater freedom. Silently bless the resistance. State, this is proof I am close. I welcome this test and choose to move through it with awareness and grace. See yourself already on the other side, living the result you seek, feeling ease and joy in your body. 7. Don't walk alone. When the opponent's voice grows strongest, remember, every great soul faced these trials, and the stories of their breakthroughs are part of your inheritance. Reach for wisdom, be it a book, a mentor, your own higher guidance, or even this video. And finally, don't resent resistance. Befriend it, embrace it. The universe tests those it trusts with more power, more creation, more light. Each time you stand at the threshold and choose not to turn back, you forge a path not just for yourself, but for all those who will come after you. Your life's hardness is not a curse. It is the cosmic confirmation that you are ready for something greater. So as you look at your life, the storms, the closed doors, the days when hope feels thin, see them now for what they truly are. Not punishments, not accidents, but sacred signals. The world does not press hardest on the weak. It tests those it knows can become light bearers and creators. Every challenge you face, every moment when resistance roars and doubt rises, is evidence that you're walking the ancient path, the one marked by mystics, visionaries, and anyone bold enough to dream of more. The harder your journey, the more certain it is you are carrying the energy, the brilliance that can shift reality itself. And when you stand at the threshold, when the old opponent seems strongest, don't shrink away. Remember, this is the moment of alchemy. You are not here to be crushed by your challenges, but to turn them into your next evolution. The darkness is not your enemy. It is the contrast that reveals the fullness of your light. So pause, breathe, and step forward. See your resistance for what it truly is, a sign that you're close, a sign that your breakthrough is not a distant hope, but a door waiting for you to walk through it. If these words find you in a moment of struggle, know that you are not alone. Share your story in the comments. What gates are you facing, and what light is emerging in you? If this helped you, don't forget to subscribe for more journeys into ancient wisdom and spiritual mastery. And never forget, the world needs your light, especially when the darkness grows loud. Keep going. You are the creator.